Imagine a king so feared that nobles whispered his name in dread, a ruler whose paranoia led him to betray even his closest family, a monarch whose cruelty was wrapped in suspicion and violence. This was King John of England, a king remembered not for glory or grand conquests, but for shadowy plots, ruthless decisions, and a reign marred by chaos. Today, we journey back to the early 13th century to unravel the mysterious and chilling tale of a king whose own paranoia may have been his undoing. Stay with me as we explore the dark corners of medieval England's most notorious monarch. King John's story begins in 1166. When he was born, the youngest son of King Henry II and Eleanor of Aquitaine. Though the youngest, John was not destined for an easy life. His older brothers, especially Richard the Lionheart, dominated the family and the political stage. But when fate intervened, John unexpectedly rose to the throne in 1199 after Richard's death. England was a land of shifting loyalties and turbulent power struggles. The medieval world was brutal, and kings were expected to be fierce warriors and cunning politicians. But John's reputation quickly became clouded in suspicion. Historians paint him as a man whose paranoia grew like a slow poison, affecting his decisions and his relationships, even with his own family. John's path to kingship was anything but smooth. As a younger son, he was granted the title Lord of Ireland and married into wealth, but his ambitions stretched far beyond. When Richard died during the Crusades, John seized the crown, but he inherited a kingdom in trouble. He was immediately faced with challenges from the French king Philip II, who was eager to reclaim lost lands in Normandy. John's attempts to hold on to these territories were fraught with failure. Yet it wasn't just his enemies abroad that posed threats. John's paranoia began turning inward. King John's paranoia wasn't just a passing mood. It defined much of his reign. He saw enemies everywhere, nobles, relatives, even his own barons. One of the most disturbing stories is his treatment of his nephew, Arthur of Brittany. Arthur was a legitimate contender for the throne, supported by the French king. John saw him as a dangerous rival. In 1202, Arthur was captured, and soon after, he disappeared under mysterious circumstances. Many believed John had him killed, perhaps even murdered in cold blood. The exact details remain shrouded in mystery, but this event deepened the fear and distrust surrounding John's rule. John's paranoia extended to the English nobles, who were crucial in maintaining order. Instead of fostering loyalty, John's reign saw heavy-handed punishments, harsh taxation, and frequent seizures of land from those who opposed him. He was known for imprisoning nobles without trial, seizing their estates, and using his royal courts to crush dissent. This behavior alienated many powerful figures in the kingdom. Even his closest allies found themselves wary, as no one was safe from John's suspicion. The story of Arthur's disappearance is one of the darkest and most debated parts of John's reign. Arthur was last seen in 1203, after being captured at the Battle of Mirabeau. According to some chroniclers, John personally strangled Arthur in prison. Others claim he starved or allowed him to die through neglect. Whatever the truth, Arthur's vanishing act became a symbol of John's ruthless paranoia. It sent shockwaves through the nobility and strengthened opposition to his rule. The French king used Arthur's death as a pretext to declare war on England, further destabilizing John's reign. John's paranoia and cruelty eventually sparked a full-blown rebellion. The English barons, fed up with heavy taxes, unjust imprisonment, and John's constant suspicion, rose up against him in 1215. Their rebellion forced John to meet under a great oak tree at Runnymede, where he was pressured into sealing the Magna Carta, a document that limited royal power and protected baronial rights. Though John initially agreed, he quickly tried to ignore or revoke it, plunging England into civil war. John's reign was marked by constant struggle. Against his nobles, the French king, and even his own health, his paranoia never waned, and his reputation continued to worsen. In 1216, during the Civil War, John fell ill. Some say he died from dysentery. Others suggest stress and fear took a toll on his body. His death marked the end of a turbulent reign, but left England divided and fragile. King John's legacy is one of mistrust, fear, and harsh rule. He is remembered as a king whose paranoia led him to alienate allies, imprison nobles, and possibly murder family members to protect his throne. But beyond the horror stories, John's reign was a turning point in English history. The Magna Carta, forced upon him by his barons, became a foundation for modern ideas about justice and rights, a silver lining in a dark cloud. So, when you think of King John, remember the complex tapestry of a man haunted by suspicion, whose reign brought suffering but also sparked change. His story is a reminder of how fear and paranoia can poison even the highest throne. Thank you for joining me on this journey into medieval England's shadowy past. If you found this tale intriguing, please consider liking the video and subscribing for more deep dives into history's most fascinating and mysterious stories. I'd love to hear your thoughts. Leave a comment below about what you found most surprising or any other kings or figures you'd like to learn about. Until next time, stay curious and keep exploring the stories that shaped our world.